Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lulu Amak and I'm the CEO of Lulu Tech Designs. And today we are going to do a first project in Revit. And in this project, we shall be able to learn how to start a new Revit project from scratch. We shall be able to learn how to edit walls, how to edit the floor plans, how to edit all different components. And of course, we shall finish the project with facade. And this is going to be a contemporary design. That is a modern day contemporary design. We shall be able to learn how to model those kind of facades using Revit. And of course, I'll use Revit 2026. But if you're using a lower version, you don't need to worry, you'll be able to achieve the same result. And I want us to try and achieve this design we're seeing on the screen. Basically, I just downloaded this at random, but of course, I just want us to try and achieve this. I believe if we can do this, you'll be able to learn almost all the tools that someone needs to learn from Revit, and it will help you to become a good designer. So let's dive into Revit and see how to start this project. So yeah, this is a Revit interface when you have just opened the software before you create a new Revit template. We have two. There's the models and also the families. But now we are going with the models because families, specifically if you want to create a new Revit family, but for models, this is where we're going to do our design. So we shall simply click new in the models list. And from here, when I drop this one down, I don't see the architectural template. But if you find your architectural templates here, you can simply just select it and click OK. But if yours is not seen, just like mine, you will go to this browse, wait for it to open. From browse, you go to this preview. When you click on the preview, you select English, and double click on it, and then you double click on this metric, default metric. Then it will appear here in the template files. Then we can just open a new project by clicking OK. So my computer is a lower version. That's why it most times takes some bit of time to load. So we shall give it that time so that it loads. And you make sure you subscribe to Lulu Tech Designs because we have so many projects that are coming your way. And of course, we also have projects that we have uploaded on this channel. And I believe if you follow these projects, because we always do projects from scratch, by the time you do 2 to 3 projects, you will understand every software in Revit. So now it has opened here. This is basically the interface of Revit. If you have never known it, on our right or on our left is the properties panel, and then on our right we have the project browser. But of course, these things can be dragged and moved anywhere you want on the interface, but most times it's best to have them like this. Mine is already organized because some people might find this project browser is below the property panels down here, but it's always good to have it here so that you don't get so confused when you're doing your work. And then of course up here are the different tools that you are going to use in this design. So we shall start by basically setting up our floor plans. And to set the floor plans, you need to come to your project browser and you look for floor plans. In the floor plans, you will see these floor plans by default. But of course, to customize this, you need to come to your elevations or building elevation. You can open any of these elevations. There's the east, north, south, and west. Any can work. You just double click on it. Then it will open up like this. Now you see it has two lines that are showing the levels. There's level 0 and level 2. Level 0 is always the ground floor where the normal earth surface starts. And then level 2 can either be a roof or the first level when you have stairs, those kind of stuff. And then you can customize this by simply clicking on the line, and then you click on the name. You can give it a different name. So I will just put there ground level, simple like that. And then if you want to move out of the command, you can click on escape on your keyboard, or you right click here, you click cancel until you find the keyboard is free to move again. I mean the cursor is free to move again. So we shall click the top one. I'll change this to first floor. First floor. Then of course I'm going to change the measurement or the floor to floor height from 4 meters to 3.5 meters. Click enter. Then I'll click escape on the keyboard until your cursor is free again. Now I'll need to create another level up here for the roof, and then also another level down here for the foundation. So to do that, we can simply come to, you can click on LL, that is level. It will bring for you the level tool, and you realize this becomes active for you to start drawing a new level. So if I can draw something from here, I will start from here, and then I'll simply take it this side. When you see these dotted blue lines, I don't know if they're blue or green, it means they're perfectly aligning. So I can simply click, then I can change the name to foundation level. Then my foundation, I want it to be 1.5 deep. And then I'll escape, or right click and cancel. So I'll do the same for the top part or for the roof. Now this time I'm not going to click on LL, I'll simply click on this line, then I will come to this create similar. This one will create something similar to what we have chosen. I'll start from here as always and then bring it here, and I see that these are perfect line. I'll leave it there. This I'll change it to roof level. Then at the measurement, I'll just add this, I'll just multiply this floor to floor height by 2. So it will give me here 7 meters, just like that. Then I can cancel until I am okay. Now you are going to see in the floor plans, when you come to a project browser, in the floor plans, you only see first floor and the ground floor. Those were the levels or floors that were created by Revit. We simply change their names. But now, how do we get these ones seen in our floor plans? What you do, you come to view. That is if yours has happened like mine. I don't know why mine keeps disappearing once it has been created, but by default it's supposed to show when you're creating new levels, and these heads are supposed to be blue, not in black. So I'll simply come to view, and then I'm going to look for this plans view or plan views. I'll click on the drop down, then I'll select floor plan. These are the levels that are not shown on your floor plan. So I'll just highlight both of them. And then I can simply click OK. Now, when you come to your floor plans in the project browser, you will now see all of them. There's the first floor, foundation, ground floor, roof level, and the site. So I can simply now close the elevations. Now from here, you can start designing your house. Basically, designing a house starts with the walls. Now let's look at the image we have here. So we shall use this to guide us when we are doing this design. So we're not going to do a complicated floor plan. So just do something simple. So you come to your architecture, you go to the wall tool, you drop down, click on the wall architecture. From here, you can easily start drawing your wall, but of course, we don't want to use the generic walls. We need to customize our own wall. So to do that, we shall click on this edit type in the properties. And then it will give us the type properties here. So you can duplicate this because this is the generic model, or this is what Revit has for us. We want to create something new out of it, so we shall duplicate. And then you can rename it the way you want. Let's say main wall. I'm going to just write main wall 200 millimeters. This is basically just name. You can write any name here. It doesn't matter. It only matters if you want to use it to reference. So I'll click OK. Now we need to edit the structure. So in the structure, you come to this edit button here. Then from here, you will see the edit assembly, where you are supposed to edit the functionality, the material, and the thickness. Now we need more components on the wall. Because the wall is made up of the superstructure, we have the finishes. Because the wall has finishes on both sides, that means we are going to have more finishes, more components into this category. So you can use these buttons to help yourself. I can say insert. That will insert something above. Insert again. Now you can use the down one to move. Let's say we are moving this down. I'll just click down. Now we have 3 structures, but we only need one structure. The rest are supposed to be finishes on the sides of the wall. So when you click here where the functionality is, it will show you these options. So you can select the first finish, and then the last structure here, you select the second finish. So middle here is going to be now the superstructure with the finishes on both sides. Now we want this structure to be 180 millimeters thick. And then the finishes are going to be basically 10 millimeters thick. 10 millimeters thick, and in total we shall get 200 millimeters of a wall thickness. Now we need to assign these materials. So to assign materials, you come to this material row, you just click on this by category. It will open for you the material browser. So let's wait for it to open. Now here you will see the material browser, and from here you can create your custom material. What you need to do, you come to this button that is a little bit circular with the plus sign. You click on it, you come to create new material. Then from here you can simply right click on the new material that has been created by default. You rename it to the material we want. So for example, we can say we want a gray or maybe a white color, since we're going to have a lot of white. Let's say we want white color, and from here you'll come to this right side of this interface. There's the graphics. This graphics basically shows this one basically shows the color that is by default. So you can change this to, let's say, white, since it's going to be white. Then in the appearance, you come to this button here that will be able to open the asset browsers. So here we shall have the asset browser, and from the asset browser you can simply search for the kind of material you want. Let's say we're looking for stucco. Let me just go for paint, because this is just a finish. So paint, we shall have different types here in the appearance library. There's finish, metal, metallic paint, wall paint. So let's go with the wall paint, and I'll look for something that is white. Maybe this cool white, and I'll close it. Here you simply apply, click on apply, click OK. That is just one part, and now we need to do the same for these other ones. For the superstructure, you click by category. You can either create something new, but I feel this one is just common, so I'll just go with the common brick, because that's basically what we are going to use. So you just select the common brick and you click OK. And then we have that last finish. We shall come back to this button here for creating a new material. And then we right click and rename this to, let's say, a gray color. We had white, so in the graphics, I think it's already gray. We can leave it at default. Then in the appearance, we come to this button so that we can open the asset browser. In the asset browser, we're looking for paint. Again, you can look for paint, you can look for plaster, anything that can generate for you the material you want. So here we have a plaster that is of this nature. So we're looking for gray. Let me go with this dark gray. Then I'll just close that. I'll click apply. Then I'll click OK. Now from here, we shall simply click OK because we have already created all the functionalities, the materials, and also the thickness. We click OK. Then in the type properties, you click apply, then OK. That means you are now ready to start designing your wall. So what we are going to do, of course, we always want to use this as our guide so that we know exactly what we are doing. So we shall just create some space close to this one here. Let me just create something. So we can simply have this wall. You can create one wall here. Then I'll create another one just like this. Don't forget to escape once you are done drawing what you want to draw. Then let me see. I think this surface is just flat. There's nothing extruding anywhere. So it is just flat. Now we're going to just do some measurements here. This, we can say this will be around, let's say 15, I don't know, 15 millimeters. But I think that can also depend on how we're going to achieve the rooms, different rooms. So I can select one here, one wall. Then I come to this tool called offset. The shortcut is OF. So when I click on this offset, I can offset anything, but of course you need to give it the offset figures. So let's say we're offsetting this by, let's say 6 meters. You can either write 6,000, that will be in millimeters, or you can write 6 then m, that will still be what, meters. When I click enter, it will still convert it to millimeters. So I'll just simply click here. But the problem with this, let's see, when I come to my align dimension tool, which is the tool for measuring, when I click on it, I'm going to select preference to be wall faces. So when I measure here, you realize it is not giving us 6 meters. It is giving us 5.8, simply because 200 millimeters goes into the thickness of the wall. So I can simply do this and change it to 6 meters, just like that. And then let's see what we have. Let's say that is this part. That is going to be this part. Then we need another, we need this part for the door, then this other side. So I'll simply offset more with the offset tool. This time let's go with 4 meters, but this time I'll put 4200 millimeters, just like that. Then I'll offset more, let's say 5 meters, simply like this. So you escape, and to connect this with that, you simply come to this tool called trim, slice, extend to corner. You'll extend this to this, just like that. When you come to your line dimension tool, you can measure this to this point, that is 4 meters, this to this point, that is 5 meters. So now I think we have distributed the face the way we intend to have it. Now what we are going to do, basically we shall, let's say we shall close up the gap from here. Let me just offset this. You go to the offset tool. We're going to offset, let's say, let me just measure from here up to here. That is 15.8. So I will offset it that way also, 15.8. So back to offset. So I'll put there 15.8. That should be 16 now, because 200 will go for the wall thickness. So you just offset this one here like that. This looks to be a lot. Let me first come to the line dimension. I measure from here up to here. See, that's 15.8, but I think it is still a lot. I'll select the wall I just created. I can bring this to maybe 10, around there, something like that. So now we're going to trim. Back to the trim tool, the shortcut is TR. You trim this and extend it to that. You trim this, you extend it to that. But of course, we have a scenario where these ones are in the middle. What you can do, we have 3 options of trims. There's the second option that trims extends single element. Then there's this that extends multiple elements. So either of these can work. So when I select this one, I can simply say I want this wall. You first select where you want it to come, then you select the wall. It will come just like that. I want it to come to this part, select like that. So now those ones are gone. Let me just take this one outside using basically the arrow keys on the keyboard. So if we go to our 3D, we should be able to see something like this. Basically a box that is coming out as a house. Now we need to change this to shaded so that we can properly see it. But of course, if you select one wall here, you see the unconnected height is 8 meters, but our floor to floor height is 3.5. So we shall right click on the selected wall. We come to select all instances, either visible in view or in the entire project. Then we come to this unconnected height, which is located in the properties. We change this to 3.5. Then you simply click apply. Then it will bring the wall to the normal floor to floor height that we specified for this specific project. Now that's what we have so far. So this basically will play as our ground floor, this part here as our ground floor here. And then of course we shall need to think about the top floor, and of course some of the things inside, for example the staircase and all that stuff that can lead us to the top floor. So for now I think we shall stop here with this project. When we come back, we shall be able to finish part of it and continue, because we want you to learn, and it should not be in a rush. You should be able to understand what we have done so far. So see you again in the next part of this project.